Good day, one and all. My name is Kathy, and welcome to this episode of the Scrap and Crafty Gardener. Today, I am going to be making a card. I haven't decided if it's going to be an Easter card or a birthday card, um, but let me get started. My card today is going to be a yellow base. This is 10 inches by 7 inches, scored it at the 5-inch line, folded it, creased it with my bone folder. And then I have 2 pieces of white cardstock. Now I cut these out of the Waffle flower, the 5x7 lacy layer, and this is the largest layer in that set. One's going to go on the inside, and I can put that one down right now, because I'm not going to add anything to that one. Just when I'm using a colored base, I like to have a piece of white on the inside, just to add a little something to the card and to make your handwriting more visible. Okay, and this will go on the outside of the card, but I need to do a few things to that first. And for my big card, I'm going to be using the Simon Says stamp, the Pretty Bows. And I have cut 2 bows. I cut one out of white, and then I cut one out of that was left from the card base. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet. And then I'm using, this is Spellbinders Floral Bunny Basket. And this is the floral pieces from the bunny basket. I have cut everything out in white. I've cut like 3 flowers and 3 sets of leaves and some stems. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to use. But I want to use up my white scraps. So I'm going to be coloring those today with some ink blending. So I can set that aside and put those up there. First thing I want to do is ink blend on my background, because I'm going to splatter that, and I need that to be drying a little bit while I'm working on my card. Okay, I'm using my Waffle Flower Grip Mat, and I'm starting with, this is Ranger Tim Holtz Distress Oxide in the color Scattered Straw. And I need a piece of scrap paper. Oh, that'll work a little bit. Make sure I've got some of the darker colors off here. Yeah, there's a couple scraps. And I'm just going to kind of make a generic oval. Could be a rectangle. I'm not doing the whole piece. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of sweet corn, which is the color of the cardstock I'm using. Just adding a little bit in here and there just to make this a couple of different colors. And each one's not really going to be too much different. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of butterscotch. Just to make this kind of a randomy colors of yellow. All right, set these aside. And now this is going to be where I'm putting my floral motif. Now I'm going to splatter this with some Simon Hurley lunar paste. And I'm just going to take a toothpick, get a little bit of this out, and then I have a piece of acetate here that I'm just going to set this on. And I don't need a whole lot. Now I'm going to take off my glasses, because I have ruined prescription glasses by getting the lunar paste on them. Just adding some water. I'm going to use a fan brush, but you can use anything you have. And I think there's some, there was some black on that. Must have had some black ink. So let me set that aside. Throw that one away. And this one looks nice and clean. So let me do that again. I don't want black on this card, though it probably wouldn't look bad. Just a little bit of water. Let me brush that off. There we go, that's better. Always make sure your acetate's free from ink. Okay, now I'm just going to tap this. Probably need to add a little bit more water. Tap, 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 tap. Just like that. Just a little bit of splatter. Not a lot. I see I've got a glow right here. All right. So I'm going to set this aside and put my brush back in its rack. And that's just water, so I'll just use my tidy towel to clean that up. And I got some of the splatter on my mat. Okay. While that's drying, I am going to take all of these pieces parts and do some ink blending on here. These are just the leaves and the stems. I'm going to do the stems first. You will sit over here to dry. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of these, but I'm going to ink them all up anyhow, because I may cut them and just use different parts. I'm going to start off with jelly bean green. And I'm going to do the stems. I'm not going to do shading on the stems, so once I get a stem colored, I'll set that off. I have what could almost literally be classified as a ton of white scraps. So that's why I want to use up my white scraps. And this is one way to do it. So you don't have to buy a lot of different colored cardstock. If you don't have the funds for that and you just have white, use it and use your inks or alcohol ink markers or anything you have to color. Gel pens, magic markers, just anything that you have that would color a stem. All right, now I'm going to color these all with the jelly bean green, and then I'm going to come in with some fresh asparagus to give them some shading. And I'm just putting on a light coat. And I need to wash my grip mat because it's a little bit unsticky. When these get unsticky, you just run them under some nice warm water. You can use a little bit of mild dish soap, like Dawn, even Palmolive, anything like that. Whatever you might have. And honestly, water works just as well if you don't have the dish soap handy. But the dish soap, it'll give it a good cleaning. All right, now I'm going to come in with some fresh asparagus. And this is a little bit of a darker color. And so I'm just going to kind of hit the edges just to do a little bit of shading. You can see that that just adds a little depth to that. You just put it wherever you think it needs it. Each one can be different. I'll put that at the base and a little bit at the tip. Now this one, I think I'm going to go over the whole thing with that. And I'll do that with two of the little ones. So we have two like new leaves that are darker in color than the others. Reminds me of a hosta. If you have the green and white hostas, that's kind of the shading I'm going for. A little bit there on the tip. All right. Okay, done with the stems. Now I'm just going to clean this off. I'm just going to use my tidy towel. And I'm going to do these little tiny flowers. Now I've got to put my glasses back on. I wonder why I'm having trouble telling which is the wrong side of the die cut and which one is the right side. I guess there's not really a right and a wrong, but when you look at small die cuts, there's more of a finished look to the top where the die was versus the bottom is a little bit unfinished. And if any of you do a lot of die cutting, you'll know what I mean by that. If not, let me know and I'll try to get a good close-up image for you so you can easily tell the difference. Now, I probably won't use all these, but I'm going to color them while I'm here. Now, these I'm going to color in, this is Tim Holtz Distress Oxide Mustard Seed. This is a really bright yellow. And I just put my green brush in there. Okay. Well, that brush gets washed now. All right. And I'm just doing these all in this bright yellow. And it's going to add some contrast to the color of the cardstock because it's not this vivid yellow. And just easy as that, you have them all colored. Now I'm going to have yellow ink all over my fingers, so I'll have to wipe them when I'm all done and start to put this together. It doesn't take very long to color objects this way. All right, use my tidy towel again. Now I'll get my scrap paper and I'm just going to take off that bright yellow and wipe again. Now for the flower, these are the last parts we have to color. For each flower, there's a big portion and then two little portions. So I am going to use sweet corn. That's the color of the cardstock for the center petal. I'm using a fair amount of pressure. In fact, I'm smushing the bristles because I want this to be a deep yellow color. You see, I'll put one of these here. It's not as bright as that. That is definitely more of a lemony yellow. Okay. And speaking of lemon, I'm now going to come in with lemon drop. And I'm just going to get that scratch paper back here. And one of the petals, I'm doing in lemon drop. It's probably hard to tell on camera, but these are just enough shading that there is a difference. And I'm going to try the scattered straw. just to see how that looks. But I'm going to put it on the back of the petal. So if I don't like it, I like it. All right, so I'm just going to do the scattered straw. Okay, I have all my coloring done. And I'll try and pull that up so you can see the three, I don't know if you can tell, 3 different shades of yellow. And that's not black on my hand, that's that's my veins. All right. Okay, set that aside. Now let me get this card put together. Hopefully that this spatter has dried. And it has, so good. All right. I'm just putting the 3 tulip leaves on. Okay, should be one more stem for the tulip. Where did you go? Well, I'm pretty sure I had 3 of those, but we'll go with 2 for now. See where I want to put the tulips. And then this would have the yellow bells. And then if I cut this one, maybe have that coming out the top. And then for a bow, I'm not liking that one. I do like this one. Okay, I think this is how I'm going to go with my layout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my card now. And just kind of shift these over so I know what is going where. As straight as I can. Okay. So I had the one coming up. I'm just going to use my glue over here. My little tiny bottle is not working, so I'm going to be using this. Pardon the reach. Well, I put the glue on the wrong side. That's okay. Wipe it off and do it again. So I want this one to be up. And glue you down. Come on, stick. I'm going to glue these petals together just at the base of the flower. And then I'm going to get a little tiny pop-up dot. I'm going to glue the bottom flat and have the flower sticking up. That's my goal, at least. And then I'll have that trimmed. Now, you know, I didn't stamp my sentiment, so I guess I'm going to have to stamp my sentiment when I'm all done. I'm going to do that now. This is going to be an Easter card. All right. Is it going to be an Easter card? Could do Happy Easter. Actually, I want this to be a birthday card because I want to use wishing you a birthday filled with joy and happy birthday. This is Simon Says Stamps Poppy Field. So I want to do happy birthday down here at the bottom. And then wishing you a birthday filled with joy just above that. Get that in the corner. And I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne. Well, corner and down. And need a little bit more. There we go. All right, tidy towel is over here. Now, if I would put this in the same spot every single time, I would know where it was, but I do not do that. I need to do that. Do you do that? I try to be a little bit more regimented with where I put things. But I have found that that really isn't me. I try my best. Now, when I was at work, everything was in its place and everything had a place. And that's how it was. But at home, not so much. Okay, now I want this to come, but I want to cut off this stem. I want that to come out like that. So I'm going to cut that stem just a little bit once I get this glued down. But I'll just cut it. Actually, I'm not going to need to cut this one because that's where I'm going to put the bow. If I need to cut it when I'm done, I will. You might hear my cat Pumpkin meowing at the door. He wants back in. He's been in and out of this basement 4 times, and I told him that was enough. He needed to stay out. And then the other stem for the other tulip. I think I want to come out behind. Let's go over here. I always change my mind of where I want things to go. I'm just going to glue this one together. There's the third part. There it is. Just at the base. And I'm going to take this one and put it on the bottom, whereas on the other flower it's on the top. And then this one is going to go on the top, just to change up the flower just a hair. And again, I want to pop up just the top. Just the top, not the bottom. Now figure out where I want to put it. Well, all right. Okay, I'm going to put that down right there. So this stem I am going to cut off right there. Make a little bit more glue. Okay. And let's put the flowers on here. This just needs a little dab of glue on each one of these. And then I'll see where I want the others if I do. And I haven't put any leafery on yet. I want that to be on top. So I may not use the other flowers. I might be able to get a whole second card out of this. Okay, now let's get some leaves in here. Let's see where I want to put them. Yep, so I will cut this one right there. I'm going to add, let's just place these down. Yep, that one's going to go there. So, okay. My cat is distracting me. Yes, I like that placement. So that's going to go up underneath that, stick out there. You get me? I like a placement and then I change it. All right, now, do I want to put, I think I'm just going to take that. Pumpkin, quit clawing at the door, please. And I'm going to put them right there. Pardon me. This would make a pretty Easter card. Or if you did this in grays, it could make a beautiful sympathy card. Oh, I lost the cap. All right, so let's put if you don't have this flower set, use what you have. I just like the idea of making like a focal point with the ink blending. And then you just put your flower on top of it. Now I do need to have a couple more stems coming down just so that it will look good under the bow. So I'm just going to take this one piece and I'm cutting it apart just to make some stems. And put a little glue on these. Pumpkin, please stop. He is a persistent little fella. This is the cat who chose my home. 3 years ago in December, we were having just the day before we had a frigid cold spell come in. That's the day he decided he had been a stray and I'd been feeding him on my front porch. And he decided that very day that he was coming in the house. As soon as I opened the door, he ran in and then I couldn't get him back out. So he is here to stay. I did check and make sure nobody owned him previously. Now, what color do I want to make that bow? You know, I'm going to go with the not the scattered straw. Where? Oh, here it is. We're going to make it mustard seed. Just get my mat out real quick. And get my yellow brush. And then I'll add a sequin in the middle of it. Okay. Now let me see how that bow looks. Well, that looks kind of pretty. All right, so I want to pop that bow up. So I'm going to use the same ones that I did for the flowers. And then I want to cut one in half. To put on the tails of the bow. That will go right there. Okay, now it just needs a little bit of bling, not a lot. Let me see if I have any. I have the Aurora Borealis. No. And I have the pre-made ones that I got for Christmas. Oh, I'm liking that. Or do I want to make my own? Okay, I'm using the pre-made yellow ones. They're a golden yellow. I'm going to take one of the medium-sized ones, and I'm going to put it in the center of the bow. Well, I have so much glue on my fingers that it's sticking to me and not the card. And, you know, it really doesn't need a lot more than that because I have the gold splatter in the background. Okay, that's it. Can't believe I said that. That is my card for today. And sorry for the lighting. It seems maybe you can see it a little bit better there. You can see some of that splatter. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.